The cosmos is a conscious universe, and you are the one who does. Understand more about July 23, 2019. If you question its importance in this life, this is a reading that cannot be missed. The cosmos is a conscious universe and you are the one who does it. Understand more about the question that intrigued the great American quantum physicist John Archibald Wheeler in the last decades of his life was, are life and mind irrelevant to, or central to, the structure of the universe? Wheeler originated the notion of a participatory and conscious universe, a cosmos in which we are all embodied as co-creators, replacing the accepted out-there universe, which is separate from us. Wheeler used the image of children with their noses pressed against a bakery window to describe the view that keep the viewer separate from the thing being watched. But in a fully participatory universe, the observer and the observed thing are one. He suggested that the nature of reality was revealed by the bizarre laws of quantum mechanics. According to quantum theory, before the observation is made, there is a subatomic particle in several states, called a superposition or, as Wheeler called it, a smoky dragon. Once the particle is observed, it instantly collapses into a single position. Wheeler was a major influence on Deepak Chopra, who joined forces with physicist Minos Kafatos to explore some of the most important and disconcerting questions about human existence. What happens when modern science reaches a crucial turning point that challenges everything we know about reality? In the coming age, the universe will be completely redefined as a human universe radically different from the cold and empty in which human life and our planet are mere dust in the cosmos. Wheeler introduced the concept of wormholes and coined the term black hole. He pioneered the theory of nuclear fission with Niels Bohr and introduced the S-matrix, the dispersion matrix used in quantum mechanics. Wheeler invented a concept of quantum foam, a theory of virtual particles arising and disappearing into space. Similarly, he conceptualized foam as the basis of the universe's fabric. At the end of his life, Wheeler said that when we finally understand the true nature of the universe, we will be amazed at its simplicity. Sir John Eccles, a famous Australian neurologist and Nobel laureate, stated, "I want you to realize that there is no color in the natural world and no sound, nothing of the kind. No textures, no patterns, no beauty, no perfume." What Eccles meant, says Kafatos, is that all the qualities of nature, from the luxurious scent of a rose to the sting of a wasp and the taste of honey, are produced by humans. Erwin Schrödinger, one of the chief founders of quantum mechanics, said essentially the same thing when he stated that photons, as much as light, have no color. Such properties arise in the biology of perception. If you want an observer around, and if you want life, you need heavy elements. To make heavy hydrogen elements, you need thermonuclear combustion. To have thermonuclear combustion, you need a cooking time on a star of several billion years. In order to extend several billion years in its temporal dimension, the universe, according to general relativity, must be several years long in its spatial dimensions. So why is the universe as big as it is? Why are we here? Wheeler has inspired many aspiring young scientists, including some of the great 20th century. Among his doctoral students were Nobel laureate Richard Feynman, with whom he co-authored the Heeler-Feynman absorber theory; Hugh Everett, who proposed the interpretation of many worlds; Kip Thorne, who predicted the existence of red supergiant stars with neutron star nuclei; Jacob Bekenstein, who formulated the thermodynamics of the black hole; Charles Misner, who discovered a mathematical spacetime called Misner space; Arthur Weitman, the creator of Weitman's axioms; and Benjamin Schumacher, who invented the term qubit and is known as Schumacher compression. Wheeler suggested that reality is created by observers and that no phenomenon is a real phenomenon until it is an observed phenomenon. He coined the term participatory anthropic principle PAP from the Greek anthropos, or human. He went further by suggesting that we are participants in bringing into existence not only the near and the here, but also the far and long ago. This statement was considered somewhat strange until his mental experiment, known as Spearman delayed choice, which was tested in a laboratory in 1984. This experiment was a variation of the famous double-slit experiment in which the dual nature of light was exposed depending on how the experiment was measured and observed. The light behaved as a particle, a photon, or as a wave. The results of this experiment, as well as another in 2007, proved what Wheeler has always suspected: observer's consciousness is necessary to bring the universe into existence. This means that a pre-life Earth would have existed in an undetermined state, and a pre-life universe could only exist retroactively. In their recent book Mirroring Wheeler, Who are the universe? Kafatos and Chopra suggest that each of us is a co-creator of reality that extends over the broadest periods of time and space. The seemingly impossible proposition stems from the current state of science, where outside the public eye some key mysteries cannot be solved, even though it is the same problems that define reality itself. The duo says the shift to a new paradigm is happening. We all live in a participatory universe. Once you decide that you want to participate fully in mind, body and soul, the paradigm shift becomes personal. The reality you inhabit will be yours to embrace or change. The most distant galaxies billions of light years away have no reality without you, because everything that makes any galaxy real, with the multitude of stars and their heat, emitted light and masses, the positions of distant galaxies in space and the speed that drives each distant galaxy at an enormous speed, requires a human observer with a human nervous system. If no one existed to experience heat, light, mass, and so on, nothing could be real as we know it. If the qualities of nature are a human construct derived from human experiences, the existence of the physical universe out there must be seriously questioned, and, together with it, our participation in such a universe. Physicists have had decades to process the perception of Wheeler, the eminent American physicist, general relativist, and quantum physicist, who originated the notion of a participatory universe, a cosmos in which we are all embodied as co-creators, replacing the accepted universe out there, hitches separate from us. Wheeler used the image of children with their noses pressed against a bakery window to describe the view that keep the viewer separate from the thing being watched. But in a fully participatory universe, the observer and the observed thing are one. The brain is not the seat of consciousness, but acts more like a radio receiver and perhaps emitter, translating conscious activity into physical correlates. The radio receiver metaphor describes the feedback loop between mind and brain, which are not separate but part of the same complementary activity and consciousness. To understand our true participation in the universe, we need to learn much more about consciousness and how it becomes mind and matter and vice versa. These are difficult truths for conventional scientists to accept, and some would react with skepticism, disbelief, or anger. But following the other clue of explanation, starting with physical objects out there, to begin with completely fails to explain how consciously we are. That is why, in Scattered Blocks, some physicists are beginning to talk about a conscious universe in which consciousness is given throughout nature. In fact, the founders of quantum mechanics a century ago agreed more with this view, understanding that quantum mechanics implies mind observation and agency.